CodeRed selected.
What's good, guys? It's your boy CodeRed, and I am back with another one. So listen, man, I have been playing a lot of City of the Wolves. And no surprise, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have, but I have been playing a lot. I have been playing various characters, learning the ins and outs, learning all these mechanics. Recently, I just finished up episodes of Southtown where I played the playthrough with Preecha, which I actually did a video on that. I will leave in the description box if you guys want to check it out if you haven't had a chance to yet. But I have just been playing this game like crazy and have been having such a fun time with this game, to where it's quickly becoming my top fighting game that I'm playing as far as just like focusing on and learning. And so I started to think, like, what is making this game so enjoyable to me? Why is this game appealing to me so much, right? So I came up with a list of things that I feel has made this game what it is to me. And I want you guys to check it out and tell me what y'all think. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First thing I would have to say is the appearance of the game. Now, when I first saw this game at Evo in person, not like I've seen, of course we've seen it online and stuff like that, but when I actually first was able to see this game in person, I was blown away visually about like how it looked. First thing that I noticed was like the colors were like coming out at you, like it just had a pop to it. And that was one of the first things that just like struck me about this game. It was just very colorful to me. You know, looking at Preecha, when I first saw Preecha, you know, with the color hair and stuff, like she just stood out so much to me. And just everything, like the background, the stages, like everything just was so colorful and it just stood out so much, right? And when I started to pay attention more, specifically as the game came out and I actually got my hands on it, it was very like simple as far as appearance wise, but effective. The game looks so much like, at least to me, like a comic almost. Like it just looks sketched, like it looks like just drawn, right? And to me that just looks so cool, especially when you're looking at the characters and the different animations, like everything is just in motion. It just looks so great. One of the things that I don't even know if this was intentional, but like if you go to the select screen and when you're selecting your characters, like right as you hover over a character, the character will appear, but then you will have like a little shadow, almost like someone is like shading in the character a little bit. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but like to me that was just like, that's so cool to me, right? But I have to say, just the appearance of the game, I don't know right now currently if anything even looks like it. It stands out. It definitely stands out. The appearance of this game is just something that just blows me away, right? The next thing would have to be the system mechanics. Now, I know a lot of people, and including myself, found a lot of comparison between the mechanics of City of the Wolves with the mechanics of Street Fighter 6 and how they were very close. And they are. Like, it's in a lot of ways they are identical. I feel like, however, at least from my experience more recently, I feel like City of the Wolves is doing it slightly better. And I know that's kind of weird to say, but I kind of feel like it's being done a little bit better. And also like the game itself, just the overall gameplay, it gives you an old school vibe, old school feel. But I feel like the game has found a way to balance the mechanics with making the game, making it as defensive as it is offensive, right? Even just getting into like the parrying system within game or just defend. Like I feel like in this game, it is way more like when you're doing it, you have to have intent there. Like with Street Fighter, especially in Street Fighter 6, obviously, I feel like the parrying is a little bit more random. Whereas I understand that like City of the Wolves does have like leniency as far as like the parrying, but it's like you have to have intent for it. Like I feel like the game revolves around it a lot, and I've said it before, I think that's where the competitive side is going to lie, is in that whole like the defensive side of the game. And like specific things like just defend, the hyper defense stuff. Like I do think that is where it's going to, where we're going to go to with this game in the long run. So I think that just overall, the mechanics of the game and just how they're utilized, to me, has made this game so fun. Like actually coming into a round or set with someone that you're playing with and getting used to their way of movements, like the things that they do, how they're going about setting up their different things, and like learning how to like capitalize on their mistakes, and like having the intent to do that, I think is what like making this game so enjoyable to me. Like I'm going in and actually using the mechanics and using the game, the way the game is being supposed to be played, like in a way that is effective, like actually using the stuff. So I think that is really cool, and that's something that's like drawing me in with this game. Also, just the next thing would be like the difficulty. I think that this game, to me, and I'm gonna say this now, it's a game where anyone can play it right now, and I feel like this is the best time to get on it and start playing the game. Because for me, honestly, I think that for people who don't pick up the game now and start actually playing it, to me, it's going to be a difficult game to really get into later on down the line. I think there's just so much depth here with this game, and there's so many things that just are like undiscovered, and things that are just still being discovered. Obviously, it's a new game, but I think that there's a lot more to this game than it's just on the surface. The thing is, like, what makes the game is easy, or not easy, but easier to pick up, is that I feel like a lot of the stuff is universal with characters, like as far as strings, and as far as like how the frame data is broken down with a lot of the strings and the normals in the game. Like you can look at some of the characters and certain normals that you do from certain positions with characters or certain strings, they'll have similar frame data as far as like being plus or negative on block and hit and things like that. So once you, to me, like once you have learned like certain strings about a character or certain moves, somewhat they translate over to other characters. But what makes it interesting, and what makes it, I would say, where the difficulty lies, is learning how to properly utilize it for each of the characters, because that's where it differs. A lot of characters, to me, they are universal in their frame data and like their streams. Like, and the idea is typically with this game is like, what, you get the knockdown, you want to go into either a grab, either pressuring your opponents, you can get a frame trap, or you going in making them whiff so you can, and you jump in the air. Like that's the literally, like that's the three things that you're doing off of a knockdown, right? But it starts to become a deep mind game with this game, in where not only do like that is the three main things, but you also have to worry about the opponent, I mean the character that you're using, and how you're going to properly pressure, right? Because I feel like it's in this game there is a lot of ways to pressure in this game. Like this game is like, you can't really mash buttons in this game. You cannot really mash buttons. And that also is what I think is going to play into the whole just defend side of it, like, and actually properly using your parry, because there's certain situations in which you're just stuck. Like if you're not like just defending, you kind of just stuck, and you're at the mercy of your opponent, either for them to slip up on a string or them to misplace a string. So that's why I think that eventually it's going to become very tough for people to get into this game if they don't start now. But to me, that's what is going to make this game fun. I think right now it's easy to get into it. Later on it's going to be tough. And just me learning right now, I'm seeing like the depth of the game, which is really just it's dope to me. Another thing is just, it's something new for me. I've dabbled into this, like the company's games for a while, right? I've dabbled in them. I've played various games. Like I've played, you know, Fatal Furies. I've played King of Fighters. I've played them all. Like I've played a lot of the fighting games within SNK, but I've never actually played them serious. This is my first SNK game that I'm actually playing series. Of course I play crossover stuff, you know, Capcom versus SNK and stuff like that, but a true SNK game, I've never played it really serious. So for me, it's just the learning something new, right? SNK, for example, a lot of the games is real big on jumps. Something new for me, right? Something I've had to adjust to. I'm not used to jumping around a lot with playing Street Fighter. You know, you want to, in general, you want to be more on the ground. Getting used to, you know, the layout, 4-button layout, like that's so different to me, right? That's just different to me. It's just a lot about this game that, about SNK games in general, that are new to me, that I'm learning. And Fatal Fury, with Mark of the Wolves, when I played Mark of the Wolves, I played it, but it wasn't something that I played a lot of. Like, well, I dabbled in it. I just dabbled in it. So City of the Wolves is kind of like my first introduction to the franchise, and honestly, really to just really learning how to properly play SNK games. So that has been just really fun for me, and challenging myself and reprogramming my mind. And then one of the biggest things why I think that this game has become so enjoyable is because it gives kind of like hope for the future, right? This game, I know when the creators were talking, they were talking about, you know, basically, you guys, your favorite character is not in this game. It's pretty much, it's a good chance they're going to be in the game. And I thought that's so cool. Them basically saying like, this game is going to be supported for a while, and your character is going to make this game. I know this roster is going to be huge. I know they're going to put a lot of time into it and a lot of effort, and I'm eager to see just how this game constantly evolves over time. I feel one of the biggest things that is huge to me when it comes to just hopes for this game is that I can see the consistency that they already have with just how they're mapping their DLC, right? Like, you're seeing, like, it's like every 2 months a new character is coming out, and it's going to properly get you through a year. I've complained about this before with Street Fighter, and I said that they need a little bit more consistency in how they put out their DLC. It just kind of seemed like it was just everywhere. It's been everywhere for like the last 2 seasons. But with City of the Wolves, you're seeing a little bit more structure and a little bit more consistency, and I can appreciate that, you know. And just them saying those things, like, they have a plan, they have a long-term plan, and this roster is going to be huge. That just gets me hype in itself, because it lets me know that this game is going to be around for a long time. And I'm just curious, I'm just eager to see where the future holds for this game, because I do feel like it's going to do nothing but get better. And of course, some people have their criticisms of the game, which is absolutely fine. And that's a given, right? You know, and eventually I'm pretty sure we're going to hit that moment where suddenly everybody just don't like the game. That's just how it works. That is the way it is. That's how it's been with every fighting game. I can't think of one where it's just been, everybody's been happy with since day one and all the way through. So I'm sure we're going to get there, but I think that in the future, this game is just going to, all it's going to do is get better, and they're just going to improve on it. So that's my things, man. I'm enjoying this game. It's hard for me to put it down, like, honestly. But I want to know how you guys feel. How are you feeling about City of the Wolves? Are you getting your rounds in? Are you enjoying it so far? Do you wish there was more to it? What do you think is missing? And just let me know what you think about my list of things. Do you have some things that is driving you to play the game, or keeping you from playing the game? Let me know. Get in that comment section, guys. I love to hear from you, all right? And as always, please take care of yourselves and take care of each other, all right? CodeRed, and I am out of here.
CodeRed.